your notebook open. Go ahead and title it, What Do These Things Have in Common? And then I want you to do just a super simple sketch of each of these things. I'm going to tell you what they are in case you can't tell. So we've got some cards, some eggs, some boots, and some mittens. So write our title down and then do a super quick sketch of each of these things, please. All right, what do we think? What do these have in common? Tricky. What do they have in common? Madison? You can touch all of those. They are all things. That is true. Mackenzie, what do you think these have in common? Sure. Colby? They all have what? Oh, yeah, they don't. Tricky. Kaden? Sure. All things, all nouns. Evelyn? Sure. Maybe?
They all have their own numbers.
What do you mean by that?
Like there's 3 eggs and 2 boots.
Can you buy 1 mitten?
Yeah, you can. Right? No, can't. It's possible. You can.
Can you buy just 1 boot?
No. Well.
Can you buy 1 egg?
Yes. Yeah, you can.
They do not sell eggs by the 1 in the grocery store. Can you buy 1 card?
Well, yeah. No, you can. Still.
So what these have in common is all of these things come. Your voice is not on.
You took my pencil.
How did that happen?
Because it was still on the carpet.
Is it that tiny one?
Yeah.
Great, throw it away. Look at those trash. Do not take things that don't belong to you. I don't care if they're on the ground. Get a pencil. All of these things come in groups. They are not sold in singles. They are sold as groups. When you buy a pair of mittens, how many mittens do you get? Not a trick question. Macklin? 2. What about our boots? When you buy a pair of boots, how many do you get? Not a trick question. Actually, 2. Eggs. Eggs could be a little different. Rylan?
I think if it was like a 0,
Mm-hmm.
probably I might think it might be 20.
No. This is not a guess. This is how they are actually sold. Gio? No, you do not buy eggs in a group of 3. Jayla?
16 or 18?
Not 16. You need to go to the store and count your eggs. Right then?
12.
12. Do you know what that's called?
A dozen.
A dozen. Typically, eggs are sold as 12. That word is a dozen. Now, you can buy a half dozen, which is 6 eggs. Half of 12 is 6. And you can buy a dozen and a half, which is a dozen, plus a half a dozen, so 12 plus 6, which is 18. Eggs are not sold in packs of 2. Eggs are not sold in packs of 3. When I go to the grocery store, those are my options. 6, 12, 18. Okay? Colby, what?
What about people who sell eggs on like the side of the road?
Guess what? They also come in a dozen because they need a carton. No, they sell them in cartons, baby. Also, please do not put that cap in your mouth. That is a sentence I thought I would say in a kindergarten classroom, not a third grade classroom. All right, what about our deck of cards? That one's a little tricky. How many cards? I'm going to make deck of cards. Talking a normal plain pack of cards. Heidi? Not 54, but very close. Please don't raise your hand if you're just guessing. Zach?
56.
Nope. Tatum? No. Bryson?
34.
No. Rylan? No. Carl?
I was about to say that one too.
All right, we're just guessing. There are 52 cards in a deck. Every single time. There are 52 cards in a deck every single time. Now, obviously, this doesn't count for special decks that have extra things. But in a normal deck of cards, there are 52 things. Subtitle. What are some things that come in groups other than eggs, boots, mittens, cards? This is your subtitle. What are some things that come in groups? And then I want you to think. What are some things that you buy that are sold in a group? You think of anything? Evelyn?
So you can buy
A hat?
yeah.
Okay. Where groups would be more than one. Heidi, you got something that comes in a group? Bananas. Yeah, bananas can come as one. That is true. Do you know what it's called when there's a group of bananas? Not a cluster. Bananas, when they're sold in a group, are called a bunch. A bunch of bananas. Actually, technically speaking, what you buy at the grocery store is technically called a hand of bananas. They're a bunch when they're a big, like on the banana tree. It's called a hand. Yeah, that actually goes back to how they used to pick bananas. So they try to pick in groups of 5 because 5s are easier to count by. You have how many fingers on your hand? 5. A hand of bananas. I know, tricky. What are some other things that are sold in a group? Bryson?
Pokemon cards?
Sure. How many are those? How many come in a set of those?
There's a lot of different ways.
Okay, give me an example.
20.
Sure, maybe there's 20. What else are some things that are sold in groups? Zach?
Bread.
Bread, like slices of bread? Yeah, we don't usually get one slice of bread. Oops, that was not the right letter. I don't believe they sell slices of bread in Italy. So there's typically slices. You don't just get one slice of bread, you get all of the slices in that loaf. Jill? Paper, yeah. We don't usually just buy one piece of paper. We buy what? You know what it is? I'm talking to Gio. A pack, yeah. Usually, not always, but usually packs have 250 sheets, typically. Now, there are smaller variations, that's true. But your standard ream of paper comes with 250 pieces of paper. Kayla? Say that again?
Sometimes flowers.
Sure. What is a group of flowers called? The French word anyone know what a group of flowers are called? Evelyn? A bouquet. That is how you spell that. Why? Because it's not English. We're writing. I don't know why your arms are in your shirt. Bouquet of flowers would be like a group. Heidi? What? Rhyme? Oh, like a drink pack?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if we're like going to buy a pack of Gatorade or a pack of Coke, how many things come in it?
16 or 24.
Yeah, usually we've got I'm gonna write a pack of Coke. There's usually 24. Now there's could be different sizes, that's still true. Oh yeah, like a pack. I don't care, but it needs to have the word pack in there. What about socks? When you buy socks, how many do you buy? One pair of socks.
You just gave us the answer.
No, I didn't. Bryson,
Sometimes like 15.
did you hear what I said? I said one pair
Oh,
of
two.
socks. Two. You get 2 socks. One pair would be 2 socks.
Just
Sometimes called a pair.
some socks come in packs.
Okay, but packs of 2. Rylan?
It could be
Okay. Jalen? What do you mean by that?
like there's little tiny pieces when you buy a bar.
Like a chocolate bar. If we're talking about like a Hershey's chocolate bar, Jalen's talking about all those little pieces. Do you know how many pieces are in a chocolate bar?
I think by maybe 20.
No. Colby?
Depends on which, like, the size of the bar, but if you got a normal size bar, not small, but not peanut,
It is 12 pieces. Now, as you have all told me, there are exceptions, put your hands down, to these rules, right? You can buy one flower, but you could buy a bouquet. You can buy one pair of socks, which would give you 2, but you could buy a whole pack, which would give you a whole lot more than 2. There are exceptions, that is true. But we're talking about normal groupings. Turn the page. I want you to do a quick sketch. I got 4 hands on the board. Do a quick sketch of 4 hands. Should take you about 35 seconds. Quick sketch. Boom, boom, boom. On each hand, there should be how many fingers? Again, I know there are exceptions to this rule, but typically there are how many fingers on a hand? Huxley? 5. There are 5 fingers. So I need you to write underneath that 4 hands. It's still a finger, but thank you for that. Exactly, this is the part that we're writing, because I just said we're writing that. 4 hands. And then underneath that, I want you to write 5 fingers on each hand. You're writing those 2 sentences, or 2 phrases. 4 hands, 5 fingers on each hand. Do you have a question?
Is it double finger?
Yes. Yes. if I wanted to find out how many fingers total were on these hands, how would I do that? I'm not looking for you to tell me the answer. I'm looking for you to tell me what would I do. If I wanted to find out how many fingers were on all those hands together, what would I do? Colby?
You could count by ones, but the most likely would be fives.
All right, Colby is offering some skip counting. How many of you thought of skip counting? Colby said I could count all of my fingers individually. That will mathematically work. But Colby, notice this has a set of 5. This has a set of 5. This has a set of 5. And this has a set of 5, which makes it way easier as a 3rd grader to just skip count. Let's write an equation that matches what we just did. What math matches that? What would be that equation? Heidi?
5 plus 5 plus 5.
5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. Keep going because I need an equation.
Equals.
Yep. 20. No, because that's not what that actually means. Now wait a second. Why is the answer not 9? Because you wrote a 4 and a 5. 4 plus 5 is 9. Why is the answer not 9? Carl?
Because I forgot what it was.
That's okay. Why don't you talk to your group? Carl, Jordan, Gio. Why is the answer not 9? Go. Why is it not 9? Everyone should be raising their hand now because you just talked to your neighbor. 2 heads, 3 heads are better than 1 head. Why is it not 9? Mackenzie, why is it not 9?
Because when they say 4 hands, they're not counting fingers, they're counting hands.
Oh. We have 2 different units. You remember that time that Ms. Miller said you have to know your unit because you have to write an answer sentence? And y'all got really annoyed at that? Yeah. It's on that chart right there. Know your unit.
No.
Mackenzie is 1,000% correct. I am counting different stuff. I cannot add hands and fingers. Those are 2 different units. I cannot say 4 hands plus 5 fingers equals 9 hand fingers. What does that even mean? 9 what? We don't know. It's not the same thing. This is why I said you have to know your unit because these are 2 different things. What am I actually counting? It's on the board. What am I actually trying to count? Right? Fingers. Does that mean the answer is 5? Because we got 5 fingers? No, the information is connected, but I have to know I'm counting fingers. We made groups. I'm writing, you're writing. Carl, you come back to your spot, baby. We made groups. Can you see the groups? It's kind of tricky. Raise your hand if you think you see the groups. Evelyn? Yeah, each hand, because Colby skip counted, circle them. Here's a group of fingers, aka a hand. 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 How many groups are there? Not a trick question. Do you know how many groups are there? 4 groups. There are 4. AKA they are what? Hands. There we go. They are hands. We have 4 groups. We call them hands. Where's Jack? You're gonna put it on your chair. We had stuff in each group. I'm writing, you're writing. We had things in each group. Jalen, you ready? What were the things in each group? Think about what the groups were. What were the things in each group? Tegan? Fingers. How many were there? Yeah. We had 5 fingers in each group. How many of you are so good at skip counting? Especially by 5s. I hope that's every one of you. Because exactly what, I don't remember who told me, said, this equation that we came up with has a special name. That equation is called, I'm going to write it in red so you can see it. Repeated addition. You know what that word repeat means, right? What's repeating in that equation? What's repeating? Sounds good? What is? Yeah, it's 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. It's repeating. And we know what addition is. We're adding. You should be writing. This is part where you're writing. I just wrote. You're going to see that repeated addition a lot. Repeated addition is the math language version of skip counting. Let's write that down. That seems important. Repeated addition is the math language for skip counting. As long as you are paying attention. If I see that you're not paying attention, then we'll write down everything. Is that fair to you? Great. So I'm going to give you a little mini question. That's the first thing I'm going to give you. It says there are 4 friends wearing rain boots. How many rain boots are there? The first thing you're going to do, put your hand down, in your group, is you're going to draw a picture. What does that look like? Yeah. I already said this. You do not have to write anything down as long as you are paying attention. But if I see you're not paying attention, you will write it all down. What does 4 friends wearing rain boots look like? Zach?
4 people.
Here's my friends. And they got their boots on. Boots, 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 boots. So far, so good?
Yeah.
Alright, next step. You need to tell me how many groups are there? How many groups are there? Carl? 4. There are 4 groups. We called them. Macklin? Nope. What do we call our groups? Gio? Friends. In this case, my groups are my friend. You're a group, you're a group, you're a group, you're a group. There are 4 groups. Does that make sense? I also want to know how many are in each group. What am I counting again? Rylan? I'm counting rain boots. How many rain boots are in each group? 2. Each friend has 2. So far, so good? Happy? Last thing we're going to do is our repeated addition equation. What would be my repeated addition equation? If you're not sure, think about how you would skip count. Because skip counting and repeat addition are essentially the same thing. Heidi?
It would be 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2.
Keep going. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Did you pay attention to the order I did this?
Yes.
What did I do first? Grace? I did a picture first. What did I do second? Mackenzie? I counted my groups. What did I do last? Gio? Yes. I want it done in the same order. Are we clear? Okay. So in your groups, I want you to solve these 4 questions. You will have to write them on each box. Does that make sense? Okay. So you're going to find out how many mittens are on 6 people. You're going to find out how many wheels are on 8 cars. You're going to find out how many eyes are on 7 faces and how many legs are on 4 spiders. Okay? Are there any questions? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to split my screen so you can see the example and the questions. This is what each one should look like. Does that make sense?